Hello everyone, and welcome to the Mineral Revolution, Lesson 7. Today we're going to be looking at the working conditions in the mines, as well as the formation of the Chamber of Mines. We're also going to look at some musical history that comes from the mines, as well as a tragedy that occurred in 2010. I hope you enjoy this lesson. Shosholoza began as a folk song for the gold and diamond miners traveling back and forth between Zimbabwe and South Africa. The word Shosholoza is a combination of both Ndebele, which comes from Zimbabwe, and Zulu, which we know comes from South Africa, the words meaning to push forward, endeavor, or strive. The sound of the word itself is symbolic of the steam engine trains that carried the miners through the mountains. It is said that the song helped to lessen the workload and to help create a rhythm to work to through the long and hard days. I hope that you enjoy the song.
Digging in the sun. Men must work for me. Digging in the sun. Men must work for me. Digging in the sun. Men must work for me. Digging in the sun. Men must work for me. South Africa, Shosholoza, South Africa. When you yabaleka, South Africa. When you yabaleka, South Africa.
Working in the mines has always been a dangerous industry. One of the legacies of the mining industry in South Africa is the poor working conditions of many black South Africans. Remember, we discussed the compounds they lived in. We have discussed how they were restricted by movement. They were not provided with protective gear like we use today. Slowly, the conditions have improved, but even in today's times, mining remains a problem. Compared to other countries, South African mines are composed of ore bodies, which are formed from ore minerals and waste rocks. This makes our mines different. It has its benefits in that it allows mining companies to dig deeper than anywhere else in the world. Remember, South Africa has 2 of the deepest mines in the world. The deepest one going 4 kilometers below the Earth's surface. On the other hand, the mining area becomes unbearably hot and narrow, because obviously when they start digging the mine, they can't make the tunnel very, very wide. And it gets up to about 60 degrees Celsius in there. That's really, really hot. Another problem with mining in the country is the silica dust, which can cause silicosis, a lethal lung disease. Machines cannot be used in the depths of the mining caves, which means human labor is the only option for now. So let's just recap. Digging mines deep underground is dangerous and must be done carefully. The area to be dug is surveyed by skilled people, and digging is done by specialized machinery. South Africa's gold mines are the deepest in the world, some going as deep as 3.9 and 4 kilometers below the surface. It is so deep down there that it gets extremely hot sometimes up to 60 degrees Celsius. The mines need to be ventilated and air conditioned to try and keep the miners safe. There can be harmful gases released in the rocks, as well as by explosives used to break the rocks up. In the tunnels, there's always the danger of a tunnel collapsing. The rock above the tunnels is heavy and puts immense pressure on the roof of the tunnel. Deep underground, the floors of the mines would often be covered in stagnant water. This means it's water that's not moving, it's just lying there. If water becomes stagnant, it can carry disease, and this also creates a danger of slipping. The using of explosives, such as dynamite, presented multiple dangers. Miners could be caught in the explosion, rocks could collapse unexpectedly, crushing people or blocking tunnels. The dust left in the air was breathed in and caused lung damage and diseases such as silicosis. Also, with the miners working in such close quarters, with such little space and with little to no fresh air, a disease called tuberculosis, which most of us in South Africa know as TB, spread quickly. The Randlords and the formation of the Chamber of Mines. Starting a gold mine required a large amount of money. You needed money so that you could purchase a land claim, avoid to keep up with the development of new technology needed to mine deeper and deeper, be able to buy the specialized machinery, and hire skilled workers from around the world. There were very few individuals who had enough money to pay for all of this on their own. Cecil John Rhodes and Barney Bonato had money from the diamond mines in Kimberley. Alfred Bate was another diamond mine owner who had made a lot of money, and so these three gentlemen formed a partnership and opened gold mining companies together. They became known as the Randlords. Strangely enough, they were called the Randlords because the gold came from Witwatersrand. And that's also how we got the name of our currency, the South African Rand. Soon other wealthy investors from overseas joined in, and other mining companies were formed along the Witwatersrand gold belt. The Randlords had a big task. They had to carefully decide where to open mines, what to spend the money on, and how to operate these mines to ensure that they made a profit. This still happens today. On the 5th of October, 1889, the mine owners joined together and formed an association called the Chamber of Mines. Today, it is known as the Minerals Council of South Africa. The association aimed to protect mine owners' interests and promote favorable legislation, meaning that the laws would benefit them. They also aimed to exchange information on mining and mining practices, the different methods of mining, with private and public organizations in South Africa and other countries. They worked together to find solutions to problems such as sourcing labor, minimizing labor costs, getting the government to pass laws that would be in their favor, laws that they would benefit from. birth of gumboot dancing. Gumboot dancing was originally a means of communication amongst miners who were forbidden from talking to one another. More than a century ago, migrant workers came to the Witwatersrand area to work in the mines. While in the dark tunnels, mine bosses tried to keep order and quiet by forbidding conversation. Clad in gumboots to protect their feet from the fetid water, the miners created a tapping code to communicate with one another. Above ground, these taps and smacks developed into elaborate dances that were performed during leisure time. Because many miners were from rural areas, they used the dances as a chance to dress up and express their cultural roots. Initially, the mine bosses banned the dances, but soon the mine bosses began to see the activity as positive. Competitions, gumboot dance troupes and shows all became part of the social life at the mines.
Gumbo dance started in the mines in Johannesburg back in the 1950s, where the migrant laborers met to work. Obviously, all of them were coming from different southern parts of Africa, from different cultural backgrounds, speaking different languages, and they then needed to come up with a means of expressing themselves, not just amongst each other, but also against the system that was oppressing them. So this language or this dance style then started as a means of them sometimes warning each other that, hey, watch out, he is coming, but also then grew into this creative outlet and a means of them just exchanging the energy, the different cultures, and this new language was then born.
It is part of our culture. The rhythm of gumboots has got into our blood, I suppose you could say. In 2005, when we launched and registered the Shosholoza brand, we didn't realize how far it would go, and where it's gone into Africa and where it's gone around the world, and just the meaning behind that, the movement of the arms of a steam train, that movement of the wheels, you know, as the arms push the wheels. There was the dance that the guys were doing on the mines and singing the Shosholoza song. But that's become like the culture of this Neptune boot manufacturing plant, where it's gone under our skin.
With Gumbo dance being this vibrant, energetic dance form, then you can't help but want to know more about it. So they started talking more about it, they started recreating it, they started developing it further. And obviously the world then caught up with this vibe that is now happening in Southern Africa. And Gumbo dance then really became this new language that everyone all over the world was just fascinated by. Walking into Neptune's factory was an extraordinary experience for me, just to be able to see these PVC pellets being molded into boots, and also seeing the different machines that are used to manufacture these extraordinary boots. And obviously some of them now have extra protection for the metatarsal, and also then to kind of look at that and see how, in the same way gum boots were created back in the days as a means of wanting to protect the feet, there has been that careful attention to adding those extra features in making sure that the laborers are extra protected.
We've seen that really important, especially in today's age where, 20, 30, 40 years ago, no one really cared about the safety of people. But today, with more and more people in the occupational environment and more people being injured, there's a bigger need. And so we're really enjoying the importance of finding that space where we can help people to protect their feet. Our focus has gone from just making gumboots to actually helping people stay safe and keep safe, and it's become part of our passion now, is about providing a product that is comfortable, easy to wear, durable, has great perceived value, and protects a person's feet.
I think one of the most common reactions that we get from especially foreign people when they watch Gumbo Dance, they're just mind blown by the complexity and the beauty of the rhythms and also the energy that is involved in Gumbo Dance. The beauty or the complexity of all these rhythms just meeting together then combines and presents what we would regard as the beauty or the pulse of Africa, which some have spoken about as, you know, Africa being the heartbeat of the world. It has now become this beautiful celebratory story that really embraces our history and speaks of who we are in the context of our past, our present, and who we can also be in the future as well. And it really is a dance that we can all access to celebrate ourselves, our history, and our country and our cultures. You know, it's now accessible to all of us, and I'm grateful as a performing artist to those pioneers who were part of that. But I'm also eager to take it further, to get a lot more people involved and to collaborate with many other artists and to keep sharing our collective story as South Africans.
Even in modern times, mining is a dangerous activity. In 2010, there was a horrendous mining accident in Chile. On August 5th, 2010, just after lunch, part of the San Jose copper mine in northern Chile collapsed underground, turning the 33 men, aged from 19 to 63 at the time, into prisoners. It took 17 days to even find them alive, 600 meters below at the bottom of the old Century mine. It then took another 52 days more before they were winched to safety through a narrow hole as the world watched on television. I will never forget this time in history, as we would turn our televisions on every day to see how much closer they were to rescuing these mine workers. And when they did manage to rescue them, they could only take them out one mine worker at a time through a very, very narrow shaft in almost like an elevator cage.
You lovebirds get the sonogram yet?
It's a boy.
It's a girl.
It's a boy.
It's a girl.
Congratulations on your retirement. 2 weeks and you're a free man.
Is that the only way in?
The only way in, the only way out.
How much longer?
About an hour.
We may be looking at a weakness in the mountain's internal structure.
She's an old mine.
It's my job to keep this man safe.
A serious accident just occurred at the San Jose mine.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
That's a big rock.
That's not a rock. That's the heart of the mountain. She finally broke.
And I
33 men trapped underground, and we don't even know if they're alive.
We all know how this goes. The government tells us how much they care, and they do nothing.
was over my head.
How long do they have?
There's food and water for 3 days.
Nothing at all.
I knew this place was dangerous.
Nobody's blaming you!
You are my brother. We gotta pull together to get out of here.
Say something.
3 platforms are now in place, specialized in deep drilling.
A huge rock, twice the size of the Empire State Building, shifted.
We are running out of time.
It's not a question of if it falls, but when.
I'm not leaving without him.
If that is our last supper.
I quit! The last thing we need is these men dying with the whole world watching.
33 men on the ground.
300 mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, and we are their only hope.
Let's get ourselves some miners.
I believe we'll make it out of here because I choose to believe it. All 33 of us.
Say something.
See you, old man. Up there.